Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 289 and Doubleshot number 220. Okay? First up, Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka, Volume 1, collecting Wonder Woman Hakita. That is a one-shot Greg Rucka wrote. And Wonder Woman Volume 2, number 195 to 205. Now, the Hakita. Now, it's explaining here it's a ritual basically for sanctuary. And the way it's performed in here is that, well, two people perform in here. One is a girl who only appears for this one shot, and Batman does it too. I'm not kidding, Batman does it too. The whole point of it is to beg certain people for sanctuary. That's the whole point of it. And it involves a lot of begging, touching the legs, and then finally touching whoever person they're asking, touching their, put two fingers on their lips. That's normally how this ritual, that's the way the ritual is shown to have been done. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate. I don't know. Prior to reading this one shot, I have never heard of this ritual before. I've heard of the one shot before, and I knew Greg Rucka wrote it. And after I read it recently, the second time I read this trade, before this trade came out, I had never read any of these issues before, but they're all really good issues. I think the reason why they put the Haikita one shot in here, they did the same thing with the first of the new trades for Catwoman Volume 3, where they put the Selena's big score in there, because that's what the late Darwin Cook did before the start of the series, because he was going to be the artist for Catwoman, so they threw that one shot in there because that came out before the Trail of Catwoman storyline for the Slim Brady backup feature for Detective Comics, which led into Catwoman Volume 3. Yeah. After the one shot itself, it doesn't really set up. It sets up a little bit of stuff that's going to go on in the pages of Greg Rucka's run for Wonder Woman, a run that's, well, it's commonly described as it lasted for 4 years, despite the fact he only wrote about, I think it was 31 issues. Yeah, 31 issues over the course of 4 years. He started with issue 195, and this last issue he wrote for this series, of course, he recently got back writing on it recently with the most recent volume, and of course, the Rebirth one shot. He only did this from 195 to 226, which was the last issue of this very volume. Now, pretty much in this volume, we get introduced to a new character. There is one new character that does get introduced in the second issue of this particular storyline of Rucka's run. Who is this character? Veronica Cale. Those of you who have seen the Wonder Woman the aborted pilot, and wondering when did Veronica Cale is from the comics. She is the main villain of that failed pilot. I've seen images of it. It is really terrible. I can see why NBC passed on it. This is Veronica Cale, and in this trade, in issue 196, is her first ever appearance. We also see appearances by Dr. Psycho, who is a long-time Wonder Woman villain, stretching as far back as he was one of the first villains that she fought. I mean, his first appearance, if you look at Wikipedia, he made his first appearance in Wonder Woman number 6, which came out in the early 40s. So he's one of the early Wonder Woman villains. We also see Silver Swan is the third Silver Swan, in case you're wondering. Yeah, there are 3 of them. The first one made her debut about a few years prior to Crisis on Infinite Earths. Excuse me. The second one made her debut afterwards, but not long after the debut of the third one. The third one didn't become the third Silver Swan until issue 170. There was a run that happened just prior to this, about 2 years prior to this, that she became Silver Swan. She's not really big of a villain. I mean, Wonder Woman does fight her briefly, and she tries to help her. And she does show up for that awful Salvation Run miniseries. Yeah, it is awful. You know how awful it is? They kill off a lot of villains in that miniseries. People like, they kill off Mishir Mala, the Brain, minor Teen Titans character, Thunder and Lightning. a whole bunch of villains. There's probably close to about 30 characters get killed off of that miniseries. And Lex Luthor and Joker are basically fighting for control. And Joker, despite the fact he's seen in a couple issues in here, it's just an illusion cast by Dr. Psycho. Yeah, he's pretty much behind a lot of the stuff that happens in all the issues in here, with the exception of the Hikita one-shot. But yeah, these issues are really good, and these are a combination of two trades that were originally released by DC years prior. The trades that combine along with like is the trades. If you're wondering which trades they combine for this particular one, there's actually two. If I can get to it, it's taking a while. I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. Found it. They combine Down to Earth and Bitter Rivals. They combine these two trades into one graphic novel and threw in the Hikita one shot because Greg Rucka wrote that too, so why not? Now, he didn't write any annuals for Wonder Woman because at this point, the Wonder Woman annuals had ceased publication back in 2000, though they did do one for the following volume. But all the issues in here are really good. It shows up Wonder Woman in a very good light, and Greg Rucka is considered to be one of the best people to have written Wonder Woman in the past 30 years. I mean, people list him off with him, George Perez, Gail Simone, Meredith Finch. A lot of good writers have been Wonder Woman over the years. I mean, yeah, there is also her creator, who is listed here, by the way, William Moulton Marston. Yeah, and a guy who had two wives. I'm not kidding. So, good, 9 out of 10. Awesome. Pick it up, especially if you're a Greg Rucka fan, because these issues are all good. Alright, next up is a trade that I have been not looking forward to review, but I figured out why not review anyways. Amazing Spider-Man Worldwide Volume 2, collecting issues, I think it's 700 and 724 to 729. Yeah, I call it by the original numbering, not by the actual number, which is listed as, well, it says your Amazing Spider-Man 2015 6 through 11, but myself and a few people call it by its actual numbering, which is 724 to 729. These issues are awful. They are put in this trade. They are bad. I mean, yeah, it's written by Dan Slott and Maggie Buffin, who does the artwork for issues 6 through 8, and Glepi Kamakali, who does issues 9 through 11. Now, there are a few good things about the issues in here. The artwork, the interior artwork is really good. The covers by Alex Ross are good. Seeing Cloak and Dagger return was awesome. And that happened in the first arc. Aside from that, yeah, they're bad. Really bad. Like, the Mr. Negative thing is awful. I've heard a lot of people say that they're awful. I agree. Those issues are really, really bad. Especially a woman who is supposed to be Peter Parker's girlfriend named Liam, I think her name is. Yeah. Here's the odd thing. They don't reveal that she's actually Peter Parker's girlfriend until like the last part of the Mr. Negative storyline. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the characters are written in those issues a little bit better than they are in. At least Mr. Negative is written better than Scorpio in the second arc. Now, the thing about the Zodiac is that they are awesome villains. They're usually written by good writers. Dan Slott is not a good writer to write the Zodiac. You want to know why? Because he writes it to be so boring and whiny. Here's some artwork by the first artist and the second artist in here. Yes. He writes him as one. He's like, no, he's ruining it, stuff like that. He's written like Superboy Prime. Anybody who knows that character knows what I'm talking about. If you read Scorpio in here, it's like you're hearing Superboy Prime's voice coming out of his mouth because of how whiny he is. Oh, and all the Zodiac, with the exception of Scorpio, they're all brainwashed. Yeah, they're all brainwashed members. Yeah, none of them are actually the actual people who will be part of the Zodiac. They're all brainwashed members who are brainwashed by putting on a mask. Yeah, they put on a mask, and they're automatically members of the Zodiac. Scorpio is the one who isn't, and his real name is Jacob Vernon Jacob Fury. Now keep thinking though, Nick Fury Jr. is in here. Is he related to Nick Fury Jr.? Is he related to Nick Fury Sr.? Or any other of the Furies? I don't know. That question was never answered by the time you finish this trait. I mean, yeah. The writing in here is just awful. The storytelling is bad. Like I said, the only thing good about here is the artwork, the interior artwork by the artist in here, like I mentioned, and the Alex Ross covers, and seeing Cloak and Dagger come back. That is it. Oh yeah, and seeing some stuff that leads up to Dead No More. Regent is here for like one issue, and it's okay. But he becomes a bigger threat in the next story arc, which will take up next trade, which will only be about, I think it's like 4 issues, I believe it is. Yeah, takes up issues 12 to 16. But like I've said, this is bad. Really bad, Slot. If you're reading it just from the trade, you're probably thinking, though, yeah, these are bad. I was reading these when these were coming out online. Yeah, it's just so bad that the Amazing Spider-Man title, was supposed to be the flagship title of the Spider-Man books, and it's the worst book on the shelves. It is getting better. I'm happy for that. But Slot needs to leave soon because he's been in this book for too long. 7.5 out of 10. I haven't given a rating that low in a while, but awful. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode 290 and Doubleshot number 221, okay? Until then, see you there. Bye.